welcome back to my channel. My name is Helene, in case you didn't know already, and I'm one of those people who love to discuss books. However, today I'm going to discuss a specific kind of books, and that is the Penguin English Library editions. I'm sure you know of these editions, I'm sure you've heard of them or seen them in the bookstores. These editions are beautiful on the shelves and they are very nice to read. Now, I will say in the beginning, I did not like the orange spines of the book. I do not really care for orange and I didn't really like them on my shelves, but I have to say, once you get a few of these editions, it looks quite nice once you have the colored spines next to each other. So I have gotten used to them and right now I quite like them. The other thing is that these editions are such a pleasure to read, and by that I mean that the font is exactly what I like in a book. And the way it opens, the paperback quality is really good. I don't know what it is about it, but every time I open one of these books, I am encouraged to read, both because of the story, of course, which is often really good, but also because these editions just feel nice in your hands. So what I'm going to do now is to actually show you all of the books that I own. I will divide this into the books I have read and the books I haven't read yet. So let me start with the books I have read. First, we have Vilette by Charlotte Bronte. I love this book. Charlotte Bronte is also the author of Jane Eyre, my favorite classic of all time. However, this one I rated 4 stars out of 5. Howard's End by E.M. Forster has one of my most favorite covers of these editions. This one I rated 3 out of 5 stars. Next we have Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, which I rated 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't my favorite Jane Austen at all. Next we have 2 books by the same author. This one is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, which I think I rated 3 or 3.5 stars out of 5, and the other one is Wives and Daughters, which I rated 4.5 out of 5 stars. The Portrait of a Lady by Henry James I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I recently read this one and I really liked it. I also have Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. This edition also has the second book, Alice Through the Looking Glass, and this one I really liked. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, both books. This one is another favorite of mine, both because of the cover but also because of the content. This is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Bronte, and I gave this one 4 stars back in the days, but having thought about it, it is more like 4.5 stars. And the last 2 books I have read, which I own in this edition, is by the same author, and that is Thomas Hardy. This one is Far from the Madding Crowd. I was so surprised by this book. It is my favorite by him, and of course I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I love the cover as well. Beautiful bees, it's very summery. And this is the most famous of his, I believe, Tess of the D'Urbervilles, which I didn't quite like as much as the other one. So this one I gave 3.5 or 4 out of 5 stars. So those were all of the books that I own in this edition, which I have read. So let's move on to the books I have yet to read, which I'm obviously very excited about. Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, and even though this one comes in a very small edition, I still have to read it. Mansfield Park by Jane Austen, which is the last novel by Miss Austen that I have to read. Once I do so, I plan on doing a video about reading Jane Austen, in case you're interested. The Mill on the Floss by George Eliot, Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott, Little Dorrit by Charles Dickens, which is the last book I own of his that I haven't read yet. And the other books I've read by him, I haven't been very happy about. I'm not sure that Charles Dickens is an author for me, but I'm going to give him one last chance with this novel someday. Shirley by Charlotte Bronte, which I'm obviously very excited to read. Charlotte Bronte is one of my favorite authors, and I'm really looking forward to diving even more into her authorship. And then we have Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell, which is also a very tiny book. The Mayor of Casterbridge by Thomas Hardy. I love this cover. I have something about white covers, I like them. Here we have Silas Marner by George Eliot, Evelina by Frances Burney. Now this is a stunning cover. I think this is one of my favorites of these editions. Another beautiful white cover. This is New Grub Street by George Gissing. And the very last book I have to show you is Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you ever so much for watching and happy reading.